Welcome back, Mzansi, to African Farming. In spending time with farmer Solomon Masango, I was reminded about the value of adaptability in dealing with change and challenges. He also reaffirmed how there is nothing that can replace hard work. I'm sure our in-studio experts will also agree. And as usual, they are here to give us advice and share their expertise on how to make all that hard work pay off. Welcome, everyone. In studio, we have Praveen Dwarika from Lemang.
Thank you, Lindy. Good to be here.
Thank you for being here. Keneilwe and Nailana from Standard Bank.
Thank you, Lindy.
Admire Mutsvairo from John Deere.
Thank you, Lindiwe. Good to be here.
And Craig Leroux from Vleissentraal. Your very first time. How does it feel?
Thank you, Lindiwe. It's nice to meet all you guys and it's great to be here. Thank you so much for the invite.
Oh, and thank you all for making the time. I'm going to start with you, Praveen, because this story is one that is close to home, and it's a special one because Solomon has been with Lemang for a very long time. Now, tell us about that journey.
Absolutely, Lindy. Solomon is what we classify a living legend in Lemang's books. We've been in partnership with him since the start of his farming journey. And reflecting on his journey, as you've had the opportunity to do, one can only tip your hat off to the success that he's had. But all of that has come from a deep-seated passion for farming. Giving up the careers that he's had in the past before going on his journey, that certainly testifies to the passion that he had in doing this. And if you look at the role that Lemang played in his journey, yes, we contributed a lot to it insofar as agronomy services, insofar as technical advice. Our agriculturalists spending a lot of time on his farm, guiding him through the processes. But what we found is his passion and his desire to be involved in the process. Not the type of person who wants to sit back, take the advice, and get somebody to do the work for him. He loves getting his hands dirty, as you saw yourself. He's the type of guy that really, he feels what he does. And I think that's the type of farmer we wanted Solomon to turn out to be when we started off in the journey. And I think together we've really managed to achieve that. But more than that, it's what he gives back to the farming sector is what we're particularly proud of. He makes such a contribution in his own farm insofar as food security is concerned, but the knowledge that he exchanges and shares freely with other farmers is something that we really respect him for.
You know, on our trips to these farmers, they all talk about passion, that you really do need passion to do this. Yep. And Solomon, we saw that.
Absolutely.
We saw that in him.
Absolutely.
Now, Craig, in the previous episode, we spoke to your colleague Ellen about the importance of aligning yourself with a reputable auction house. Now, personally, I've never been to an auction and I would love to go. So I'm hoping you can invite me.
Definitely soon.
Now, tell me, what actually happens when you're there the day before and also on the day? What are the processes?
Well, it depends, Lindy. There's different types of sales. On our bigger caliber, high prestige sales, we start doing marketing and preparations from, let's say, anything between 6 to 8 weeks before the day of the sale. On the normal sales, our weekly sales, our slaughter sales as we call them, a day before the sale, we do our preparations, we get the trucks loaded, the animals loaded onto the trucks at the kraal, at the auction venue, put our lot numbers on, and we sort out the animals to see what fits into what lots. So the bigger sales, yes, much more pressure. A lot of hard work goes in from admin, catalogs, animal information to the day of the sale. So there's a lot of preparation that goes in before the sale on our bigger sales. We try and help our sellers to market their animals. We do a lot of marketing on the online side as well. We've got an online platform, so we do a lot of online marketing as well. On our website, we do a lot of marketing there, and we try and advise our buyers, our sellers, when to sell, when's the right time to sell, when's the right time to wean their weaners to bring to the sale, to sell them to get the right price.
Give me an example of what happens. Say I come in, there's a nice nguni there next to you. Give me an example.
Well, let's say my seller's brought the nguni bull to the sale, and I've got 4 lovely buyers sitting here that's going to bid on this bull. Let's say, for example, the reserve price is 20,000. We'll start it off at 15,000. So let's go 15,000 now for a start. 15. Thank you. 5 there. Thank you, sir. 16,000. You get a bid against 16. Now bidding 17. 17,000. Now to get a bid against 17. 18,000. 19. 19 there. That's guys bidding very quickly. 20,000. At 20,000. There's my bid all through and done. Knocked down on 20,000.
And sold to Ellen LaRue.
Sold.
That was impressive. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't you guys think it was impressive?
But, I will invite you to come see me live.
I cannot wait.
Yes. Excellent.
All right, now let's move on. Admire. I'm moving on to you now. Solomon got his first John Deere tractor as a prize, and that was very, very special. And now he also spoke about the importance of record keeping, especially when he is planning. Now, let's talk more about that.
Well, Lindiwe, accurate record keeping is very essential for you to be able to be a sustainable farmer in future. What happens today will impact how you respond in future. That will also ensure that you utilize your equipment. Your equipment is fully utilized. Having said that, I want us to look at planting. The farmer has got only one opportunity to do it right, and that is at the time that he's planting. So the equipment needs to be set up with the right information that would have been recorded accurately, and he will be able to set it up in such a way that he can be able to maximize on his yield. If we talk about application equipment, same applies. It needs to be set up to ensure that the application is accurate and results in yield that are maximized.
Planning for equipment is vital.
That's correct. Planning for equipment is very vital, both on your current fleet as well as any future plans that you have to acquire any new equipment. If I look at the current fleet that you have, I think service and maintenance, you are provided with a guidance on how you need to service it and how you need to maintain it. So you need to be able to plan when you're going to be able to service it and when you're going to be able to prepare it, especially if you know exactly when your next farming operations is going to be. You need to make it ready so that it can be fully operational the entire period, that reducing also your downtime. If I look at purchasing new equipment, it's not just buying, like going to the grocery shop, you pick up a loaf of bread, but you need to be able to plan when you need to buy the equipment, when your next operation is required, as well as what exactly do you want out of your equipment. Through the guidance of our dealers, of course, they'll be able to provide you with information that can help you to be able to say, this is the right equipment, the right machine that you need at that time.
Keneilwe, you always talk about the importance of planning. Now, Admire just touched on the importance of record keeping as well. Now, what is the importance of that when a farmer is applying for credit?
Lindy, I do think farmers wonder what are banks looking for, what do they want when they assess an application. So in the nutshell, we look at the 5 C's of credit. What is that? It's the character. Who are we lending the money to, right? What is the credit history? How have they managed their previous debt? And also, how are they managing their business? The second one is capacity. It talks more about the repayment ability, because the business should be able to repay that debt. We're not looking for the farmer to repay the debt out of their salary. Then also capital. What is your own contribution, right, to the business? Because you have to have your own skin in the game. Then comes conditions. It can be conditions of the loan itself or business and economic conditions. Then we also look at collateral, which we also call security, because it's more of an asset that is pledged for the loan. And what is important with the asset is about the value and the ease to liquidate that asset. And please remember, liquidating an asset is an absolute last resort. So those are the most important things that you must make sure that you understand them and what they mean for your business before you approach a bank.
All right, let's get some closing remarks as we conclude this episode. Let's start with you, Praveen.
Passion and dedication, a lot of hard work. That's what it's going to take for farming success.
Nice. Admire, what's your advice?
For effective decision making, a farmer requires accurate information through record keeping and planning for the future.
Keneilwe?
Consider the 5 C's in your preparations before approaching the bank.
Craig, what about you?
From Vleissentraal side, hard work pays off. What you put in, you'll get out.
Nice. Thank you everyone for sharing your knowledge and your experience with us. And thank you to Farmer Solomon Masango. A farmer's work is never done, and we have such appreciation for the time you took in showing us your operation. We wish you every farming success. And you at home, don't forget that you can engage with us on our social media platforms via #AfricanFarming. And you can also visit our website, africanfarming.com. And do remember, Mzansi, we farm better together.